I never believed in monsters or myths until the day one climbed into my arms. It all started on a solo camping trip deep in the forests of the Pacific Northwest. I was looking for a break from city life, some peace and quiet. I found something else entirely. The first couple of days were normal. I hiked, fished, and enjoyed the solitude. But on the third night, things got weird. I heard strange noises just outside my tent, not the usual rustling of squirrels or deer. It sounded bigger, heavier. A low, guttural call echoed through the trees, a sound that sent a shiver down my spine. I told myself it was just a bear or maybe a moose, but a part of me knew it was something different. I barely slept, clutching my flashlight like a weapon. The next morning, I found huge, human-like footprints near my campsite. They were at least 16 inches long, pressed deep into the damp earth. My heart pounded in my chest. This wasn't a bear. I'd seen bear tracks before. These were different. The stories I'd heard from locals, the blurry photos, the grainy videos, they all flooded my mind. Was it possible? Was Bigfoot real? I decided to pack up and leave. The peace and quiet I came for had been replaced by a primal fear. As I was breaking down my tent, I heard a whimper. It was faint, like a lost puppy. I scanned the dense underbrush, my curiosity overpowering my fear for a moment. And then I saw it. Peeking out from behind a massive fern was a small, hairy creature. It couldn't have been more than 3 feet tall, covered in thick, dark brown fur. Its eyes were huge, dark, and filled with a surprising intelligence. ... and sadness. It looked like a miniature version of all the Bigfoot drawings I'd ever seen. It was a baby. It whimpered again, taking a hesitant step towards me. Primerawa. Ese frozen a mix of sheer terror and utter disbelief. My mind was screaming run, but my feet were planted to the ground. This wasn't a monster. It looked like a lost child. It was shivering, and I could see a nasty gash on its little leg. Slowly, I knelt down, trying to make myself look as non-threatening as possible. I held out my hand, palm up. I didn't know what else to do. The little creature watched me, its head tilted. It took another tentative step, then another, until it was right in front of me. It sniffed my hand, its little nose twitching. Then, the most incredible thing happened. It let out a soft coo and stumbled forward, wrapping its long, hairy arms around my neck and burying its face in my shoulder. It was holding on to me, clinging to me with a surprising strength. I could feel its small body trembling. All my fear just melted away, replaced by an overwhelming sense of protectiveness. I carefully picked it up. It was surprisingly light, maybe 30 pounds. I carried it back to my campsite and used my first aid kit to clean the wound on its leg. It winced, but didn't pull away. It just kept looking at me with those big, soulful eyes. I gave it some water from my bottle and a piece of an energy bar, which it nibbled on cautiously. For the next hour, I just sat there, holding this impossible creature. What was I supposed to do? Call the authorities. They'd lock it up in a lab. Take it home. That was insane. It felt like a sacred secret had been entrusted to me. It held onto my jacket, never letting go, as if I was its only hope. Then, just as the sun began to set, I heard that same low, guttural call from the night before, but this time it was closer. The baby in my arms perked up. It answered with a series of high-pitched chirps. A moment later, a colossal figure emerged from the trees at the edge of my clearing. It had to be at least 8 feet tall, a mountain of muscle and dark fur. Its eyes glowed faintly in the twilight. It was the mother. My blood ran cold. I thought this was it. I'm done. I was holding its baby, but the giant creature didn't move aggressively. It just stood there, watching me, its expression unreadable. The baby squirmed in my arms, reaching out towards the larger Bigfoot. I understood. Slowly, I stood up and walked towards the edge of the forest. I knelt down and gently placed the baby on the ground. It immediately scrambled over to its mother, who scooped it up in one massive arm. The mother looked at me, and for a split second, I saw something in her eyes. It wasn't anger or aggression. It was ... gratitude. She gave a low rumble, a sound that vibrated in my chest, then turned and disappeared back into the impenetrable woods, her child clinging to her. I was left alone, shaking, my mind trying to process what had just happened. I packed my gear in a daze and hiked out in the dark, not stopping until I reached my car. I never told anyone the full story. Who would believe me? They'd think I was crazy. But I know what I saw. I know what I held in my arms. Why did it come to me? Why did it trust me? Maybe it sensed I wouldn't hurt it. Maybe, in that moment of fear and pain, it just saw another living being who could help. I think about it every day. That encounter changed everything I thought I knew about the world. It showed me that there are still great mysteries hidden in the shadows, things far beyond our understanding. And sometimes, if you're lucky, or maybe unlucky, one of those mysteries might just climb into your arms and ask for help.